Hey, it's Mark Allen here with Shark Restoration, and today I have a special guest, Mike King with Aztec Coatings. And today we're going to cover, there's three main topics that we're going to cover, and one of them has to do with the warranty, the application of the roof coating material, and then the technology. And then often I hear when I'm on someone's roof and we're doing a survey, we're hearing the comment that this is too good to be true. So, Mike, is it too good to be true?
Well, Mark, in a lot of cases, it does appear that way, but it's all based on the relationships of the factory to the Aztec dealer, which is you. And because we don't go through stores and don't go through supply houses and don't have our product specified for a cattle call of bidders, we can absolutely control the relationship between the factory shipping the material and the contractor, you, in an exclusive arrangement that allows us to maintain the highest quality applications, which therefore allows us to have a very, very exceptional and very successful warranty program. The warranty program works like this. Every single job is diligently surveyed and reviewed and sold at a price that's fair enough to the end user, but also allows the contractor to make money. Mark, as you know, sometimes on jobs, I've advised you to tack a little extra on here or take a little off here because of the fact that we need you to be successful on every single job to be able to maintain our relationship. Right. So when a job is sold, we know exactly the material, we know exactly how long it's supposed to take you, we know exactly the application, and using all that knowledge, we then have a small escrowed fee on every job that goes into a large pool, like an insurance company does. And if any circumstance requires a follow-up on the roof, we can afford to pay you to go back and do that. Now, that's a win-win for everybody. First of all, we have a special relationship, and you know that we're not going to put you in a bad situation, and vice versa. And for the end user to know that they're absolutely cared for in a no dollar limit, no expense warranty under normal circumstances, that's a win for them too. Now, of course, there's always exclusions in every warranty. Ours are acts of God or catastrophic building failure. But for the most part, if the coating system isn't working, we are going to pay and supply materials to our favored contractor. Our relationship with Shark strong and getting stronger. And therefore, you go out and do the repairs for the whole time period. There's no proration. There's no excuses down the road. So the customer has his roof fully maintained. And again, there's a bit of an angle there because of the fact that it's a renewable warranty. Come the end of the warranty, be it 10 or 15 years, the option for us to make another sale and continue the relationship with the contractor and the end user is there. So it really has worked. Now, again, in big companies or big box companies or home improvement centers, you can't have the quality control that the Aztec contractor program has developed and maintained over the years. So in that regard, the fact that we're smaller than some of the big companies, even though ICP is a $1 billion company, our little division with our exclusive warranties and our contractor relationships really says a lot for what we've been doing for these last 35 years and what we'll continue to do into the future.
Nice. So that is a very ironclad, strong warranty, to keep it simple.
Mark, as you know, when you were doing your due diligence about getting involved with us, you talked to a couple end users who had actually had warranty service. They become our strongest ally, and our best references because they know that we actually did follow back through. And again, I talk about it all the time. The triangle of success between the Aztec dealer contractor, the end user, and the factory is definitely an advantage that large companies, architecturally specified companies, and the like of no-name products can't offer.
Nice, very nice. So, and the other question is always asked, well, being that this is a actual coating and we're putting this on a roof, how does this stand up with ponding water issues and the flashing issues and basically all the stuff that a traditional roof does, and now we're using a coating to do the same thing.
And that's a real good question because back in the 70s and the 80s, the coating technology was not strong against ponding water. But in the late 90s and into the early 2000s, the resin technology improved and there actually became a cross-linked acrylic formulation. And acrylics, in our opinion, are always the best for roof coatings because they're not affected by minimal microscopic water on the surface because they're water-based. Also, they are the easiest to apply and they're also the easiest to marry in multiple coats, which is intricate to our specification. So when the resin technology changed in the late 90s and a ponding formulation became available, not a lot of companies jumped on that technology. First of all, because it was a much more expensive resin product. But because of the fact that our factory was set up not for high volume, but for high quality, we were able to quickly adapt. And I can tell you the first job that we ever did up in the north was in New Haven, Connecticut, because I supervised it. And we did it in the spring of the year 2000. And then in the spring of 2001, my boss and I went back and some of the roof had been underwater for quite some time. If you can imagine New Haven, Connecticut, they get the four seasons. And when we went through it, it really turned out to be a remarkable performance. And that roof is still great. We were just joking about it recently with a customer who's only a couple blocks away. So the acrylic ponding formulation, which again is still proprietary, not a lot of companies have it. There's a lot of good acrylics out there, but most of them are a step down, and they don't have a non they don't have an exclusion. They do have an exclusion for ponding water.
Okay.
All right, let me start again. Aztec's no exclusion in ponding water warranty is really one of the few in the marketplace, including many membrane systems don't warranty under ponding water, it's difficult because at some point most roofs are going to have some standing water. So when the technology of Aztec became available and we decided to be able to pass it on to the contractors and the end users, it really gave us a huge opportunity for roofs that really didn't need a full replacement, filling up dumpsters with old material and cranes and all the other complications that go with that. But the ponding formulation over a low slope roof really did revolutionize the coating business as a whole. And we were one of the first companies to get on it. And we're still the largest buyer of that particular resin in the country. So ponding formulation is certainly another singular fact that Aztec has stood behind for a number of years, and we feel that it's a great advantage for both the contractors and the end users when it comes to maintaining and improving their low slope roofs.
Absolutely. Okay, so we've covered those 2 points. For those who are new to the idea of using actual roof coating versus going back to a traditional roof, what would be your words of wisdom to them and helping them make a decision that this is the way to go?
Another good question, Mark, because most of the time, our customers have not bought a lot of roofs in their life. I mean, I always kind of think the same thing about if you were going to go out and buy a car and you hadn't bought a car in 5 or 6 years, you'd have to do a lot of research to get up to speed of what's out there. And most of our customers, again, because most of them are business owners or groups like the Eaton housing group,
yeah.
most of them haven't bought a lot of commercial roofs, and
Right.
obviously you have to do your homework. The more homework you do, the better your decision is going to be made. But in my opinion, the very best roofs out there are totally attached, which means no screws through the substrate holding the roof down.
Sure.
Totally attached, totally adhered normally means a glued surface or a heat weld. Number two is that most of them are reinforced, which means any impact or damage that could occur is deterred because there's some type of reinforcement, usually a mesh in between the layers of the system. And then the last thing is, and again, very important in my opinion, is keeping the heat off a roof, just like you keep the heat off your skin and you keep the heat off everything you can. I have the drapes pulled at my house right now because the sun is setting here in New York at 7 o'clock. You keep the heat off a building, it's going to perform better. So totally adhered, reinforced, and energy efficient, cool, white, high reflective, high emissive are the major points. Now, if you can also add in no seams, it seems like you're really going in the right direction. And then if you back it up with a great factory warranty and a diligent application adherence to specifications, really you do have the best of all worlds without the expense of removing an existing roof or adding to the cost and stress on the building by trying to screw a roof down. So in my opinion, the very best roofs out there are available through coating systems. And also there are fully adhered membrane systems out there, but they add a lot more weight. And in a place like Eaton Crest, the challenge would be, hiking the stuff up on a crane and all the distractions that would go with that.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned that, Mike, because I know in that project they have multiple penetrations, and as we well know, with the traditional system, it's more labor intensive to make each penetration, and of course flashing and whatnot. And with the fluid applied, that is actually done in half the time, if not less.
Oh, Mark, you're right on the money. I think you, who's lived that life, is, you get up on a roof and all of a sudden you realize that if I have to cut every piece of membrane and piece it in, I just think that the challenge of not just bringing a job in profitably, but also bringing a job in to be the best finished product you can is definitely compromised with the more obstacles you run across. The production crews that are just rolling out sheets of membrane, on big warehouses and whatnot, those guys can fly, but you put them on a roof with a screen and units like at Eaton Crest, and everyone is going to struggle with that because it's not a conforming system. It's really a true challenge to both time and technology.
Absolutely, and for those who are listening into this, I think that's some wisdom you just dropped, some nuggets, because that is really something that's going to save a lot of money. Yeah, my office associate there. That will save.
I'm just waiting for my cat to jump up because I don't usually sit still for this long. So.
Right. But yeah, for those who have a busy roof like Eaton Crest, it's definitely a good way to save money amongst the other ways that fluid applied offers those benefits. Well, Mike, I really appreciate you entertaining those questions. It's definitely given us some insight for those who are considering a roof coating system, or for those who already have or have been doing their research. If you have questions, please feel free to reach out, and we'd be more than happy to entertain your questions. Mike, thank you.
And Mark, I want to throw back my appreciation for you in the effort you have made to allow the customer to be educated. You've gone above and beyond with both your application links and also your great cool roof report from the guy with the beach wagons.
Oh, Joe,
and
yeah.
Really gone an extra yard to try to help customers get educated. And like I said earlier in the conversation, the more homework you do, the better your decision is going to be. So thank you again, and let's keep it going. We're on a roll. All right.
We'll see you later on. Take care.
Good night, Mark.